One of the first things that we noticed when Finn arrived as a foster was that his nails were very long and needed to be cut. We know from his other siblings that his entire litter had their nails Dremeled since birth, and they're all very used to the procedure. However, with Finn, it was apparent that whatever had happened to him previously, he was now very anxious around any tools or other things we might be holding in our hands. This meant that we had to try to balance his health needs with his anxiety. To accomplish this, we started by trying to build positive association with the Dremel so that he could gradually learn to accept it again. We started with the muzzle on because at this point Finn still had an ear infection that was being treated, and we were concerned that that might cause him to be extra upset. When introducing the Dremel, you can start by showing a nervous dog the tool while it is off and giving them a high-value treat. We like to use liver treats for this. If that goes well, turn the Dremel on and give more treats. In Finn's case, he seemed accepting, so we started with his front feet in the least restrictive way that we could. Since he allowed that, we continued giving him treats to make the experience as positive as possible. While that did work, it was clear that he was quickly becoming overloaded. For your own dog, it is perfectly good to stop at this point and come back on another day. It is better to build up to the full experience in a positive way. However, for Finn, his nails were very long and we were concerned that they might be causing pain, so we kept going to finish all of his nails. With a little soothing, he eventually settled into the process and allowed us to finish with minimal issues. This is the entire process with nothing edited out. We did speed up some of the calmer areas, but we felt it was important to show how a difficult dog can react to Dremeling. This does not mean that Dremeling is impossible to do, it just means you will need to be very patient and pay attention to your dog. Learn when your dog's reaction is based on anxiety and when they might be trying to tell you that something is hurting. In Finn's case, we know that his reactions were based entirely in anxiety because of how long his nails were. He was not hurting because he could sit calmly and accept the nail trimming once he got more acclimated, and he was not even that scared because he was still taking treats from us. It's important to be able to recognize the difference between these two feelings so you can better manage your dog's grooming session. week later, we tried to trim his nails down further to get them as short as possible. It was clear that he was feeling better overall, but that also meant that he was more comfortable to push back against things he didn't like. That meant that he ran away from the leash as soon as we brought it out, which most likely means that the only time a leash was used for him was to bring him to places he didn't like, including his former vet or groomer. We suspect based on how he reacted that his people outsourced all of his care to other people, or that they made the experiences very stressful in some other way. This is difficult because we know that his breeder has assisted his siblings with any grooming questions that they had. His former owners had all the tools they needed to make his grooming sessions as calm and relaxing as possible, but instead he clearly has had only stressful experiences with grooming. We don't expect every dog to sit calmly and not struggle at all, but every dog should at least be able to accept basic grooming without lashing out and trying to nip. Finn proved that he was not ready to have his nails done without the muzzle when he nipped my hand just for touching his feet. For everyone's safety, we had to muzzle him again. This time, he was much less willing to cooperate, so we took it slower and only trimmed his front nails. We also trimmed his paw pads so that he would not slip on our hardwood or tile floors inside. For the record as well, Finn did not cause the injury to my finger. That was an unrelated accident. Ultimately, we will have to build his tolerance for handling back up to a more normal level. He really does not accept any grooming care of any kind, which will make basic care very difficult for anyone that is not already very experienced. If you need more detailed tips on how to groom your own dog's nails, check out some of our other guides on the subject. They will be linked in all the places throughout this video. Eventually with Finn, we will have to build up his confidence with us, his tolerance of handling, and use some of our other experience to find what might work best for him. We hope this was helpful to see what a dog that has not been properly desensitized to grooming can be like. It can be very frustrating, but the important thing to remember is that it's not the dog's fault. Do your best to make it a calm experience. It is okay to take it slow if you need to. Thank you for watching. Remember to spay and neuter your pets, and please be kind to animals.